What up, squad? Hey, look, I'm about to put y'all on. Welcome to Cooking with Nitro. I'm about to teach y'all how to make my world famous macaroni and cheese, baked macaroni and cheese, and a brisket. We're gonna get right into it. Here we go. So this is the vlog for the world famous baked mac and cheese. Shrimp. I'm not sure what shrimp we're gonna get. But we need shrimp. Might get the frozen shrimp. We got the cheese. Okay, I'm gonna break all this stuff down to y'all when we get home though. But we got the cheese, macaroni, some cheese. You got your veggies there, broccoli, sausage, all right, some more cheese. Okay. Y'all saw the trip to the store. We went and got the majority of the ingredients. Now I'm about to show you everything laid out plain and simple. I will put the ingredients in the description of this video. So you guys look at the description of the video, you can see all the ingredients I use. Now, again, I will stress to you, all these ingredients are not necessary for this baked macaroni and cheese, but I just want my baked macaroni and cheese to be as delicious as I think and I know it's gonna be. So I'm throwing a little extra, little extra stuff into it. So let's go straight to the menu, to the ingredients. Here we go. All right, to get this started, we got our ingredients. We got everything laid out. Pizza Princess in the back. Say what's up. Hey, Pizza Princess. Okay, so we're gonna start with the cheese. We got this only calls for 4 cheeses inside of this this meal. But we ended up getting 5 cheeses. So we got Monterey Jack. You need that. That's mandatory. I'll tell you what's mandatory and what's not. Colby Jack. This is not mandatory, but we got that just to get it. Mozzarella is mandatory. You need that. Okay. This is sharp cheddar. You need this. It's mandatory. And this is Parmesan. Okay. This is kind of mandatory.
You need to add water to it to make it cheese.
No, we're not going to add water to that. I'll show you how it cooks in a minute. You just sit back and relax and watch. Okay, then you got the cheese. So that's all the cheeses you need. Okay, this is the elbow macaroni. We're not going to cook all of this, obviously, but got your macaroni. You got your sugar. You need sugar. Broccoli. This is not mandatory, but I always add broccoli because it's delicious. A green pepper, not mandatory, but I add it because it's delicious. This is very important. Basil. Make sure you have some basil. Italian seasons, not necessarily mandatory. I just like to use a little bit of that. You need sea salt. Make sure you have that. And paprika. Okay. Also, you're gonna need some eggs. You're gonna need some whole milk. Get you some whole milk. This is also not necessary, but y'all know how I love my shrimp. So we got a pound of shrimp. Put that in there. And beef sausage. We're gonna handle that. Butter and olive oil. This is exactly what you need to make the baked macaroni and cheese that I'm about to make for you guys. We're gonna do it one step at a time. I'm gonna walk you guys through it, and I want to see you guys make this at home and show me what yours turns out to be. On the other hand, for the brisket, just get you a good old brisket. Yeah, I mean, get you some onions, get you some potatoes. Okay, you get the little red russet potatoes and the little yellow potatoes. You get those, and you get some asparagus, and then you got a meal to be reckoned with. All right, so stay tuned and I'll show you how we put this thing together, y'all. Yeet. All right, guys, so first things first, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the brisket in the slow cooker because it's gonna take the longest to cook, so that's the thing we're gonna start with. So I just got my brisket, I got my potatoes, and I got some water, some butter. We're gonna put all this stuff inside the crock pot just to get it started. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my brisket here. Oh, it already smells good. All right, so we got our brisket. All right, so now I want to put the potatoes in there. I'm just gonna rinse them off. Okay, don't mind me, guys. Rinse these potatoes off. And I'm about to show y'all how you gotta improvise when your stuff is not working the way it's supposed to be working. So, what I mean by that is, say you got a crock pot, right? You got you a nice crock pot. You've been cooking in that crock pot for years. And one day, the lid to your crock pot, bam, hits the floor. So before I get done with that story, these little potatoes like this, you can keep these whole. Just put them in there with your brisket. Keep them things whole. Those little potatoes are delicious. We'll keep a bunch of them full. And then the ones that are the biggest, like these bad boys, I'll just cut them in half, right? We'll cut them in half. I'm gonna half them up. All right. I got a chopping block in here somewhere, but don't worry about that. I'll clean the counter when we get it. All right. So, let's say you don't got covered your crock pot. Oh, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some onions in here. guys. So we got red onions and we got brown onion. So I'm literally just gonna, I cut the top off the onion, I cut the bottom off of it. So once you cut the top and the bottom off of the onion, you just take one layer. This is how I normally do it. Just peel that dry layer off, like that, bada boom, bada bing. Then you can just probably cut this in half, or maybe 2 pieces or 3 pieces. I like to just cut it in half. You can throw that whole thing in there. You can peel it apart if you want to, but I just throw that whole thing in there. Take a couple of layers out, let it flop. It's all going in there anyway. You can get this done major quick. The onions are going to peel apart once it starts cooking anyway, so you don't got to worry about being uniform with that. We'll put this in the trash in a second. Same thing with the brown onion. I'm not going to put the onions inside of the macaroni and cheese because Beanie and Pizza Princess don't like onions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take this off, and then take the outer layer off.
That looks fun.
Bada boom, bada bing. You got you a good whole clean peeled onions. Just cut it in half. This one's huge, so I'm gonna cut it in 3s. I still want the onions big enough so that they can pick them out if they don't want to eat them. So I keep them pretty big. Gotta be thoughtful for the rest of the fam. Okay. There we go. Just let that thing break up. All right, onions galore. Put the last piece of onions in there. All right, so I'm gonna put some water, just regular drinking water. Take some drinking water, pour it in there with the brisket. Okay. Drinking water, and then we're gonna put some butter in here. All right. So what I was saying about my story was, let's say you grew up with this brisket pot, right? And you done had it for a long time, and you've been grinding, and you've been cooking your ass off, and you've been doing your thing as much as you can. And then one day, somebody opens the lid to your brisket thing, and then they drop it on the floor, and then that thing is broke. But you're like, damn, I got a whole brisket pot, and my thing broke. What I'm gonna do? This is what you do. Get you some aluminum foil, right? Just like this. Just like this. Stretch it out like that. Put this over the top of your food. Over the top of your can. Twist it up like this here, so it's covered up. On top of your brisket thing. Right? Oh, you know what I forgot? One thing. Asparagus. We're gonna throw some asparagus in this. Yeah, we want some asparagus in here. So, but you put your lid over it like this, right? Put your lid over it, and then you get a regular lid, whatever pot you got, just put it on top like that. Bam. Then you got a lid to your crock pot when you didn't have one before. So this is ghetto cooking, man. I'm trying to teach y'all how to do it. This is how we do it. You gotta improvise, you gotta make shit work. Alright, so I'm gonna put about like half of this asparagus in there. When I cook asparagus, I clip off the bottoms of it. I leave the top of it lit. I always rinse this stuff off. You know who handled it before you got it, so you just want to rinse your asparagus off if you're gonna cook asparagus. Okay, and then just chop the bottoms of it off because that's the raw hard part. You don't really need that. Get your big knife, that bad boy right there. Pull out that thing. Yep, and that's why you need chopping block right there because I almost cut my camera, but we good. All right, you got my bottoms chopped off. Rinse that off one more time. Asparagus goes in. So I'll take my lid off, my ghetto lid, like that. Pot up a pot, and just put the asparagus at the top because I already put butter and steam. So the steam and the butter, everything's gonna cook the asparagus. Now, before I do that, before I close that up, I'm just going to put a little bit of sea salt in there. So give me a second right here. Grab this. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of sea salt. Alright, so now that that's done, we're going to cover this up. Bada boom, bada bing. And then for the brisket, you can go into passive mode, okay? Passive mode. You can probably play GTA, you know what that is. That means you can't touch it. Alright, cool, passive mode. That's how you do it. Alright, so the next step is to grind up all your cheese and start to get your macaroni and cheese prepared. So the first thing I do when I'm preparing the macaroni and cheese is I start grinding up the cheese. So I'm gonna grind up the cheese. I'm gonna put them in separate bowls, separate plates. I'll probably put 2 of these together, and then I'll put the Parmesan on this small bowl. Actually, I'll probably just leave this in the bag. All right, and then so what I want to do is first step is I'm gonna grind up all this cheese, right? I'm gonna grind up all this cheese. I have the cheese grinded out. I'm gonna cook my sausage, my shrimp, my asparagus,
Broccoli.
and my broccoli. I'm sorry, my broccoli and my green pepper, my shrimp, and my beef. I want to cook all this stuff separately, even before the macaroni and cheese even gets cooked. So I got pots out already. I'm gonna show y'all how we do this and why we do this once it's all said and done. And so first thing I'm gonna do is start up grinding up this cheese. All right, we are back. The tedious work has been done for the macaroni and cheese to get everything prepped to get ready to go. So we got your, if you look down here, we got your mozzarella cheese, your Colby Jack, your Monterey Jack, and your sharp cheddar, your Parmesan cheese. I got some sausages seasoned up, ready to go. This is gonna get cooked separate. Shrimp got peeled and seasoned up. These are gonna get cooked separate. And the broccoli and green peppers are gonna get cooked separately. And I got a pot with the macaroni boiling right now. We're gonna have that boiling. I'm gonna drain it, have it sit. But first, I'm gonna get all this stuff on the stove and then start to show you guys what it looks like when it's all getting prepared. Okay, so right now, we have the macaroni and cheese cooking. This is just about done. I'm gonna take this out, mix it with some butter, and just let it sit while the rest of the stuff cooks. Over here, we got the sausages cooking up. These things are looking delicious, smelling delicious. And back here, we got the shrimp. Everything is cooking separately with its own season. That's a very important thing to do, is cook everything separate with its own season. This is just getting started, so this is gonna be a little bit longer. But cook everything with its own seasoning. You have to do that, keep everything separately. You can't just put everything in a pot and mix it up and things are gonna come out good. All right, so I'll get back to you guys after we take these noodles out and get everything else prepared for the final steps. And for right now, what you can do is preset your oven to 350. So preset it to 350. Get that thing started, and I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so macaroni and cheese is done. So what I'm gonna do now, as soon as the macaroni and cheese is done, you want to take it out of the pot. The pot that I was using, this pot right here, I'm actually gonna cook my baked macaroni and cheese in there. So the next thing you do is strain your macaroni and cheese, get it inside of a big bowl, and you put maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter inside of it, right? So that's maybe about half a stick, okay? Then you want to just mix that butter up into the macaroni. So just mix that butter up into the macaroni. When I boil the water for the macaroni and cheese, I just put, I put a little bit of olive oil, I put a little bit of sea salt, I put a little bit of basil. And then and that was it, and then just water. So I just let that boil, cook the macaroni and cheese in there until it was not too soft. It was actually still a little bit like, it was still, you can still chew on it, still delicious, because it's still gonna bake. So you don't want to cook it too much when you're boiling it, right? You don't want it cooked until it's soft when you're boiling it, because then when you have your final product, it's gonna be gooey nastiness, right? So you don't want to deal with that. So get your half a stick of butter in there. All right, then you're gonna take your pot that you're gonna, all right, see the shrimp is already done. Bam, 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 check it out. Okay, shrimp is done. And the beef is already done. Okay, cooked separate. And we're gonna use that with the rest of our stuff as we do our layers. So next thing is we're gonna take the stick of butter, the other half a stick of butter that we used, we're gonna put it inside this pot. So you're gonna lace this pot all around it with butter. Take a stick of butter and just go to work with it. All the way around the bottom. If there's still water in there, make sure the water is gone. And make sure you get butter all over the inside of this pan. This is very important because this is what we're going to use to cook. So you don't want your stuff getting stuck or sticking or anything like that. So butter is the key. Put butter all over this. All over the inside of this pan. Alright, whoops. Butter, butter, butter. Alright, looks good. Ready. Alright. Bam! Alright, so this is all buttered up. Now that that's buttered up, I'm only just waiting for my vegetables to get done. So give me a second. I'm gonna take a drink of this beer, wait for these vegetables to get done, and we'll Alright, while we wait for the veggies to get done, we're gonna start making our mixture over here. Alright, so what you're gonna need is, I got a lot of macaroni and cheese, so I'm gonna use 5 eggs, right? You could use 4 eggs, but I'm gonna use 5 because I don't have jumbo eggs and I'm using a lot of macaroni and cheese. So I'm gonna use 5 eggs, 2 in a blender. Make sure you put this in your blender. 3, number 4, and number 5. Okay. So 5 eggs first. Then you're gonna put 3 cups of milk. I'm actually gonna put 3.5 cups of milk because, like I said, I'm making a lot. So 1. What's it? 2. A little spill. You be alright. That's what the cleanup session for. You dig? All right, 3. I'm gonna put 3.5 because I'm making a lot again. Okay, 3.5. And you can eyeball it if you're a G. All right, then you're gonna put 3 tablespoons of sea salt. So this is a 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, I need to put 2 more tablespoons of that. So I'm gonna put 3 tablespoons of this and then 3 tablespoons of sugar. We'll get back to that in a second. I got my veggies done. Go ahead and take a peek in here. Bada-ba-ba, veggies, cracking. All right, broccoli and bell peppers. We cook those separately. That's the only thing that we cook together. We got our meats and our shrimp. Everything is ready. Like I told you guys, everything's prepared to actually put together your macaroni and cheese finally. All right, so what you want to do, the first thing is, like I said, butter up the pot. See that pot? Buttered up. Hella butter, nothing sticking in there, right? Okay, so we're gonna start with the elbow macaroni and cheese. This macaroni and cheese has been sitting in a stick of butter, so it's all, see how it's all falling apart to each other, nothing sticking together like that? So that's perfect. That's the way you want it to be. And they're not soft, they're not mushy or nothing like that. So first things first, you're gonna layer it, okay? So your first layer is gonna be macaroni. So you're gonna put a layer of macaroni in. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. All right, so there, we got a thin layer. Go ahead, look inside there. You see that? Thin layer macaroni, okay? Thin layer at the bottom. And once you get that layer of macaroni in, there's a couple things that I want to tell you guys about, all right? So what I realized is when I make my shrimp inside of my baked macaroni and cheese, you have to put the shrimp closer to the top so that it's not sitting in your mixture at the bottom when you're done with it. So first I'm going to add some veggies, okay? A layer of veggies, just a little layer of veggies, not a lot, no thick layer. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Something small like that, all right? Look in there. All right, come around this way. All right, just look into there as I put this stuff in here. So we got the veggies first, and I'm gonna put a little bit of the sausages, just a couple of them. Okay, and I'm not gonna put shrimp in there yet, but I'm gonna go to the cheeses. So we're gonna start with a little bit of the yellow cheese. Just look at the layer that's in there, look at it. I'm gonna put a small layer of yellow cheese first. Okay, then we're gonna use some of this mozzarella. Small layer of mozzarella. Okay, then we're gonna use some of this Monterey Jack. Small layer. All right, then we're gonna use some of this Colby. Because I like Colby cheese and it's gonna be delicious though. All right, so just a little layer of everything. All right, and we got the Parmesan cheese, the grated Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna definitely use only sprinkles of this throughout the level. So this is gonna get a little sprinkle. See, it's more like a dust, so that's just gonna get a tiny little sprinkle. And then we're on to the next one, okay? Okay, so that's it, boom, first layer done. Go ahead and stop it. Okay, so actually, to complete the first layer, I'm put a tiny little bit of basil, one little finger's pinch of basil on this first layer, okay? Maybe 2 little pinches. All right, 2 little pinches of basil on that first layer. And then after we're done with that first layer, we're gonna layer it with another layer of macaroni and cheese. You see inside, look inside the bottom, see inside the bottom of the pan? See how everything is getting covered? All the stuff that I put up there the first time, everything is covered up. Make sure we don't miss no spots. But we don't want to put a thick layer, all right? So that's good for there. And we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna go to our veggies, put some veggies in here. Separate everything so you have a little bit of everything in the different sections of your plate. And you want to try to keep it balanced out. So if there's like a deeper part over there, stick a piece of broccoli in there, you know, just to level it out. You know what I mean? All right, so you got your veggies. Then we're gonna put the sausages in here. A little bit more in there this time. Okay. And we're still gonna chill on the shrimp for now. We're just gonna go straight to the cheese. or mozzarella. And this is, if you guys made lasagna or anything that you had to layer, bean dip or anything like that, this is the same idea. A lot of people don't, well, they haven't done this with their baked macaroni and cheese because they're not aware of the, of how people do it. Different people do it different ways, and I learned this technique from a YouTube video online. I will drop the link of the description of the original baked macaroni and cheese video that I watched, because this is the remix. All right, so we throw that Kobe Jack up in there, and then we'll throw some of that Parmesan, a couple pinches of that. Then that basil. Just a little layer. Put that away. And then that layer is done, so now we put another layer of mac and cheese. So I'm on my third layer now. By the time I got to this layer, it's time to start adding the shrimp. Okay, because this is going to be a little bit higher in the bowl, so it's not going to be soaked in the in our mixture. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the broccoli and veggies automatically. We love our broccoli and veggie. We're gonna go to the sausages. Yeet! It gets a little bit thicker when you get to the top, okay? Start putting a little bit more in there. Now we throw the shrimp in there, huh? Oh my God. Oh my God. Throw them shrimp things in there, right? Okay. Then we're gonna go back to our cheese. Another layer of mozzarella. Okay. Back it up a little bit. Okay, so you can see what's going on right there. That's good.
Leave it right there?
Yep. Okay. Then you got your sharp. You want to make sure you wash your hands good before you start doing this. It's exactly what I did. Wash my hands really good. All right. Last layer of Monterey Jack. Okay. And a little bit of Kobe. A little bit of Parmesan. And then a little bit of basil. Just a pinch. All right, then we're going to. All right, so we're almost done. I'm going to make it a few more layers, and this time I'm gonna try to use as much stuff as I can since we're getting to the top of the layers. So we're gonna do another layer of macaroni. Also, when I was, I think I told you guys, but when I was boiling the macaroni and cheese, all I used was a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of olive oil, as well as the broccoli and the shrimp. I use a little bit of olive oil. For the shrimp, I use a little bit of Cajun seasoning and some sea salt. This is the Cajun season. You guys got to get that. Shout out to Grandpa Jocko. Put your boy on. You got to cook your shrimp in that so it gets that flavor that you want. And you make sure you cook it separate. All right, we got a layer of macaroni. Now we're going to go back to our veggies. We're getting close to the top layer, so we want to use as much of this stuff as we can. Okay, I think I got another layer, so I'll save some of that stuff. All right, we put our veggies in here. I mean our sausages. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I got one more layer, so I'll leave a little bit in there. Throw some shrimp on this top layer. Top layers of the shrimp get thick. Top, oh my goodness. Oh my God. Who says that? I can't even remember who says that. Somebody on TV. All right, and then bam. So look at that. Just look at that layer right there. Just look at that layer. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right, hold that. All right, now we're gonna go to our seasonings. We got our mozzarella. Okay. Mozzarella. Then you got your sharp. We don't have to use all this cheese because, it's a lot of cheese, and we can definitely use this cheese for different meals. So we're gonna put some of this cheese away, whatever we don't use, and we might make some lasagna or something later. And we'll be able to use some of this extra cheese we got, because it is a lot of cheese if you guys seen it at the beginning. All right, a little bit of that Kobe. And you want to make sure, but we love the cheese. It's baked macaroni and cheese, man. So you want it as cheesy as you can get it without ODing. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're gonna put a little bit of that parm up there. So it's getting super tight. So I'm gonna put some basil in here, another layer of basil. Okay, not too much. And then we're gonna do our last layer, okay? Last layer. So we're gonna put another layer of mac and cheese up here. Luckily, the lid that I'm using for this is a cave that is a concave lid, so I can fill this up a little bit and not worry about it, the lid not being able to cover it. All right, so that's our last layer right here. Last layer is very important, okay, because you want to make sure your presentation is right, right? So, all right, you get your layer of macaroni. That's good to go. Then you want to throw your veggies in there, whatever veggies you got left. This is our last bit of veggies in here. Everything was cooked separately. Okay, then we'll throw our sausages in there. Last bit of sausages we got. Okay, and we'll throw our last sausage, our last shrimps in here. Oh my God. I love shrimp. I love shrimp. That's like Austin Powers. I love gold. All right, so now we're gonna put we're gonna go to our cheeses. Last layer of cheese. We want to put a good mixture of colors at the top. Okay, so we're gonna start with the mozzarella. You gotta have mozzarella. You got to have mozzarella. Put a little bit more. Then you gotta have it sharp. Okay, got your flavors in there. We don't want to cover the mozzarella though. We want to cover everything else, but we don't want to cover all the mozzarella. Then we're gonna put some of that Monterey Jack on that thing. Monterey Jack. This is Nitro's famous baked mac and cheese. You are witnessing greatness right here. A little bit of that Kobe Jack. Okay. It's the finishing touches. Okay. Then we're going to put some of that Parm on the top though. Parmesan though. Okay. Good. Then we're going to put some basil on the top. Last layer of basil. Okay. That basil. Okay, once we get to this step, everything else is done. So we got a lid, bam, we put the lid on, but we're not gonna put the lid on yet because our next ingredient is going to be paprika. You see that paprika? You're gonna open up your paprika. I think this is Hungarian paprika. I think that's what it is. Or you can use any type of paprika. You can get some paprika from freaking Walmart that says whatever paprika. So the paprika is gonna go at the top, and you're gonna layer it like this, right? You're going to sprinkle it just like you sprinkle the other seasons, but you want to put a little bit thicker layer of paprika on it. Okay, so give me a second. Let's just make sure we got a nice layer of paprika up there. Okay. And after we get this layer of paprika, we're going to put our mix in here, and then it's going to go straight to the oven. The oven has already been preset to 350. So all we have to do is put this in the oven, set it, and forget it. Also, if you're worried about if you pour too much macaroni or pour too much mixture inside your food, you don't have to worry about that because it won't fall over if you gotta, if you don't overfill it with the mixture. But if it does, if you think it's a possibility of it, just put a little aluminum foil at the bottom of your pan before you put it in the oven, and you'll be good to go. All right, so now that that's done, we're gonna leave that right there. Hold on, stay about right there. I'm about to pull back up into this thing. Hold on, right about there. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna start our mixture over here. All right, and here you have it. This is your eggs, your milk, your sugar, and your salt all blended all together. All right, we're gonna pour it right down the middle, and what you want to do is pour this super soft right down the middle. So, are you watching now, Nolly? Watch. So that way, I'm not disturbing the paprika on the top or any of the seasonings. You want it to be about 3 cups, 3.5, maybe close to 4. And I put 5 eggs. The eggs and the milk and everything that you put in here gives it flavor, also holds it together like actual baked mac and cheese is supposed to be held together. Okay, and there you have it. All right, so that's everything that was in our mix. We're gonna take this now. We're gonna cover it up. Get you a pot to cover it up, a lid, and you put it in the oven for 350. And there you have it. there you have it. I'm gonna come back to you guys and show you the end result. Thank you for rocking with me. Check it out. I need you guys to make this at your house. Wait till you see the end result. Hey. So the macaroni and cheese is done. So come closer and let's take a final look at the final product. If you guys do everything I just told you to do, this is what you're gonna come up with. Let me grab a spoon here. Inside of this here. All right. So this is what you get, guys. This mac and cheese right here. We're gonna make us some plates here. No problem, Mama. This mac and cheese right here is the world famous mac and cheese. If you try this mac and cheese, make this for your family, I guarantee you it will be a hit. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, guys. There's the mac and cheese. All right. So now we go over here. We're gonna look at our brisket we got here. All right, so we have some asparagus popping. Potatoes are done, nice and soft. Everything's nice and soft, basically just falling apart. That's how you double check on your everything that's in there with the brisket. For the actual brisket itself, you want to try to get it to the top if you can. Get it to the top, and you want to check it out. Check out the brisket. Try and cut a piece. See if it's tender. If it's nice and tender, cutting straight through, that's how you know it's done. If it gives you a tough time cutting through it, then it's not. You let it cook for a little bit longer. So this blade is going straight through this brisket. So our brisket is done. I'm going to cut a little bit off here and show you the final plate in a second here. And that is it. There you have it, guys. Our baked macaroni and cheese, my world famous baked macaroni and cheese. You know, I want to see you guys make it. If you get a chance, make it for your family. Tell me what you guys thought about it. You know, I'm back in the seat right here. Got my dinner right here. I'll show you guys if that thing will let me flip. I'll actually just put a clip of the last plate right after this. But it came out bomb, guys. The baked macaroni and cheese is out of control. The brisket, asparagus, potatoes. Yeah, this is what we do, man. You know, I've been cooking for a long time. You know, when the military, when I was 17, I've been cooking for myself since then. So, you know, I know a little bit about what I'm doing in this kitchen. So if you guys want to see more episodes of Cooking with Nitro online, let me know, man. And I got some more recipes for y'all. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate you. Leave a comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, you know, if you're going to make it, so I can definitely be on the lookout for that for your channel. And I'll see you guys later tonight. We going live.